Okay, so, spoilers for the Kingkiller Chronicles for, Name of the Wind and Wise Men's Fear and basically everything, right? It's a Kingkiller theory. I was reading Name of the Wind last night for the second time. It's my first time rereading it, and I had a big epiphany, and I think that I know sort of one of the big twists in Doors of Stone is going to be that Kvothe is the Cthaeh's son. I mean, think about it. Like, Denna calls him a willow blossom, and the Cthaeh is sort of like a willow, and the blossoms are panacea that spread destruction. He calls himself destruction, Quoth, disaster, catastrophe, destruction. He doesn't have the hair or eyes of either of his parents. He has eyes that seem kind of fairy-like, and his parents were definitely human. And in the 10th anniversary edition, there's an illustration right after Kvothe's father, Arliden, is like, did you once, 10 years ago, sleep with a god or something like that? And I read that line last night just on my first ever reread, and my jaw dropped. And the illustration has him holding his wife, but he's looking off in the distance, and in the background, there's a beautiful tree with big blossoms coming up out of it, and then a lute and a bunch of music. And I skipped right over to the Cthaeh chapter. I read through that again. He calls Kvothe's mother by her name, I think for the first time, if I'm not mistaken. We hear that she's Lady Lackless. We hear that, she is Kvothe's mother, but we never really hear her name. And then the Cthaeh calls her by her name, but she says, the Cthaeh says, your father. Now, also they say the Cthaeh doesn't lie. So when the Cthaeh says your father was, more cowardly, he ran off or something like that. And then also, the Cthaeh might have sent the Chandrian to go and fetch her, and then Cinder was bad to her instead. And then that could be the wrong turn, perhaps this Cinder did me a bad turn once, maybe that's the bad turn, and now he wants to get revenge on Cinder, but he's trapped in this tree, he can't do anything, he's the Cthaeh, he knows and he sees, but he's stuck in the tree. Or she, because fairies in this world, they could do it like the Edemre say, where they just decide to start growing. Anyways, crazy, right? I think it fits. I think it absolutely fits. And that would make Kvothe one of the flowers. He's a panacea anywhere he goes, and yet that panacea wreaks destruction everywhere it goes, just like all of the other seeds of the Cthaeh. And Cthaeh, Kvothe Cthaeh, and then he changes his name to Quoth to distance himself from the Cthaeh. Yeah, that's my idea.